Oceanic Flight 815. Unkill. Now, lost on a mysterious island, the survivors have more to fear than survival itself.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You killed us all.
None of it is real!
Namaste, thank you, and good luck.
I think your friends just blew themselves up, brother.
I just saved us all.
I've got to go, and you've got to get as far away from here as possible. Go where? Stop! I'm gonna blow the damn dome.
Who are you people?
We're the good guys, Michael.
You push the button. That's an order.
All we really need to survive is one person who truly loves us.
Miss Whitmore, I think we found it.
This is the Lost Initiative from Sky One.
Hello and welcome to the Lost Initiative from Sky One. I'm Ian Lee, and over the next 30 minutes we'll try and make some sense of Episode 5, The Cost of Living, and the very sad death of a favourite character, Mr. Echo. Although every cloud has a silver lining, and we now no longer have to tolerate Geeky Tom constantly calling him Mr. Eco. What was that about? We'll also be talking to 3 more hardcore fans on the Lost line, and don't forget, you can contact us with any thoughts or theories at lost@sky1.co.uk.
Previously on Lost.
Stop. I'll shoot. No, you won't, son.
Jack, I need your help.
Those aren't hers.
The plane was loaded with heroin. Where did you find this?
In the jungle. I found it in the jungle.
Take me there.
Echo. Who's that?
He's my brother. Forgive me.
The Lost Initiative with Ian Lee.
Okay, joined by Geeky Tom, hello.
Hello.
Paul, editor of Lost Magazine.
Hello.
Thanks again for the freebies.
No worries.
Paul, let's start with you. Brief initial reaction to Episode 5. What did you make of it?
Pretty amazing. I think all the Echo stuff was really, really dark, even probably darker than the 23rd Psalm. Pretty shocking. I mean, this is a character who's extremely popular and seemed to be massively anchored into the mythology of the show, but now he seems to have been offed by the black cloud that he faced down. He survived it the first time.
We'll talk about the black cloud in a minute. Tom, I just want to get your first reactions in a sentence. Episode 5 to you.
How can they kill him off in one episode?
Can I just say something, by the way? Tom saw this episode before I did, okay?
It's never happened. Oh, yeah, I remember this.
And he sent me a text saying,
you.
"Oh my God, I can't believe they've killed Echo." I'm like, why were you doing that to me?
I thought he'd seen it already.
Now, everyone loves Echo, don't they?
Well, yeah, they did.
Sad he's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah.
An Echo flashback. A lot of flashback in this one. We were talking about how maybe in the previous weeks the flashbacks have been cut back a little bit, but it seems to be mainly flashback in this one.
Yeah, I think we noticed it felt like more as well because they had the catch-up bit from the 23rd Psalm. They did the repeat of the plane stuff when the army came in and was shooting out all the drug lords and stuff. So I think it naturally felt at the beginning there was going to be more, but maybe, as you say, you got one episode to sort of fill in all the blanks of Mr. Echo's dark past and, you know, the setting up the warlord stuff.
It didn't really fill in a lot of blanks. I want to know what happened in London and stuff like that.
Well, this you mentioned, Paul, possibly pointing to a Charlie Echo crossover.
I think we're going to see something because the fact that it's London, I mean, one of the main characters, obviously, you know, based in London with his gigs and stuff. So I think that's clear. There's going to be, fingers crossed, something coming up.
It did answer some questions. It told us why he felt the need to build a church on the island.
Well, he got told that he owes Yemi one church, doesn't he?
I still don't know whether Echo is a good or a bad man. He's still done very bad things.
He's done extremely bad things. My kind of perception of him totally changed after watching that episode. I'm not that annoyed he's dead because he's a proper nutter. That's
what the island needs, though, is a proper
I know,
nutter.
true, but he's just the way that scene when he's walking out the church with the gun in one hand and a dripping sword covered in blood.
That's a fantastic scene.
It is awesome, but then I really like the fact that he says that when he drops to his knees in front of the Yemi apparition and says, you know, no, I did the best with my life that was given to me.
What, kill 4 people?
Well, he harks back to
I tell you what, let's listen to exactly what he says.
Fantastic.
I ask for no forgiveness, Father, for I have not sinned. I have only done what I needed to do to survive. A small boy once asked me if I was a bad man. If I could answer him now, I would tell him that when I was a young boy, I killed a man to save my brother's life. I am not sorry for this. I am proud of this. I did not ask for the life that I was given, but it was given nonetheless. And with it, I did my best.
You speak to me as if I were your brother.
Who are you?
So Yemi's saying, we heard that, you speak to me as if I were your brother. Well, then who the hell is he?
Well, that's the best line in the episode. That's so creepy. And then Echo freaks, obviously, and thinks, wait a second. Because I think he thinks on some spiritual level that this is his brother. The ghost of his brother coming back to him, giving him some redemption. But when he says that, it's like, it's so creepy.
He's been back before, hasn't he? He's ordered him to go and press the button.
Yeah, but he seemed quite nice then. He was quite cuddly and,
Okay, are we to assume then that the Yemi that we see is the black smoke?
Well, there seems to be a lot of, not even insinuation now. You see the black smoke sort of ticker around, and then there's the weird people with the arms missing off, and then it appears again, and then it's Yemi. And I think they're definitely suggesting in a way there's a lot of manifestations going on the island.
But Echo has seen the black smoke before, hasn't he? Why didn't it kill him then?
I've read a few things on the internet saying that the smoke was kind of assessing him and judging him then, and finding out, extracting all the information that it later uses in this episode to freak him out.
One thing that has been bugging me is when he doesn't confess to the apparition of Yemi. Why is he so unrepentant after... Because he has the 40 days silence, he gets the Jesus stick, he starts building the church. So there's been a hint that he wants to repent all through the thing. Then suddenly, when he's given the option... Up yours.
I think he probably feels in himself that he's done all he can. Like, he did the 40 days of silence, he's been building the church. And he
didn't finish it, though, did he?
Well, he didn't finish it, but, in fairness, he did get dragged off by a polar bear and half mauled to death, but...
no excuse.
He went off, he didn't finish it because he went off to do the button, didn't he?
Yeah. And
he did. Yeah,
and he failed at that as well.
Something else to do, yeah.
Failed at that, miserably.
So, is the smoke all of the apparitions? Because that could explain seeing Jack's dad, who we've still never found. We've never found the body of Jack's dad.
No. If the island can heal things really quickly, at a stretch, I guess if someone died, it might be able to bring them back to life. Life extension. No, I'm not for that.
Like in Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like that.
But I think it's a bit of a stretch to have like a burnt corpse come back to life, push the boulder out of the way. Very.
But it could explain some of the other visions. It could explain Boone, although Locke was tripping his nuts off then. It could explain Walt's apparition.
Yeah,
that
and Dave as well.
Yeah.
At least Dave, mate. Yeah.
Doesn't Walt do the shh?
Yeah.
He does that lot, which the kid does in Echo's vision.
I think the smoke it could be controlled by somebody else, and it could be a big setup. How he found the body in the plane. Maybe they just didn't think Echo was going to come back and look for it, took the body out, and...
The vision of Walt that Shan and Saeed see tells them not to push the button.
Yes.
So if we assume it's the black smoke... Do you see where I'm going with this? Why would the black smoke not want the button pushed? Because the black smoke killed the pilot after the button hadn't been pushed. So is that by not pushing the button, is that releasing the black smoke?
Well, this is what our designer on the mag, that was his theory, and it's a good theory because it does tie in with timelines quite well. Button isn't pushed, anomaly, plane breaks up in the sky, monster kills the pilot of the plane, and the same thing. The anomalies happened all across the island. The monster's gone haywire and is smashed. That's pretty vicious. Smashed Echo to pieces, probably like he did with the pilot. Yeah.
Halfway through the series, 20 days in, I think it is, if I remember correctly. It comes and finds Echo, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it seems to want him because it just drags him along the ground. It doesn't
finds Locke as well. So.
Locke and Echo see different things when they look into the smoke, don't they? Let's have a listen.
So, what exactly did you see back there? I saw it once,
What did you see?
I saw a very bright light. It was beautiful.
That is not what I saw.
So, Tom, it looks different to different people.
But it's weird. Maybe it's a representation of like your past and how you look in the eyes of God.
Tom, I know you've got some strong theories on this. What is the black smoke? I think it's something mechanical because of the noise that we hear.
I really don't know what it is. It's definitely not nanobots for all you people that think it is.
Please stop with that nanobot
can we just stop that theory now because it's a load of rubbish. I think that it is some kind of security system.
Does it have a brain, or is someone controlling it? Because it seems to be able to pass judgment on Echo, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's... I'd like to think it's a force of nature of its own making. I think if there's a few people in a control tower kind of like pressing left, right with the joystick...
That's exactly what I think is happening.
Okay, well, it's basically a heightened version of Frogger, like a psychotic Frogger.
Can I say, I'm with Tom on this one.
You both think it's psychotic Frogger. Okay.
Yes, I think so. I think someone is controlling
there you
it.
go, on the record.
I reckon it's that guy they see in the hatch with the patch over his eyes.
Hold your horses, gentlemen. We'll get there later on. That was a fantastic bit. We'll get there in a minute. Very quickly, Echo's last words, reported by Locke. I didn't hear him say anything, and I was struggling to listen.
I did try as well.
We're next. Now, did Echo say, quote, we're next, or did Echo say, quote, you're next?
Exactly.
That's
the
unclear.
problem. Because if he said you're next to Locke, and then Locke thinks, oh, he doesn't mean me, because I'm pretty cool, I'm quite nice, it obviously means everybody. There's the thing, it's just Locke's interpretation of what he said.
I listened to the official podcast with the
boys
on, the boys on, and they said it was Echo saying you're next.
So Echo, quote, you're next. All right. Okay, well, listen, we've got a caller on the Lost line. It's Joe. Hello, Joe.
Hello.
What have you got for us this week?
Well, I thought this week would be a pretty good time to talk about the Black Smoke again.
Well, as it crops up quite a bit, then yes, it's an excellent idea. Away you go.
Well, I thought it was a brilliant episode, and I loved the Black Smoke coming back because we didn't see it enough last season. Shame to see Echo die.
I've got a theory on Echo that I'll share with everyone later on, so keep listening.
Okay.
Thought we were going to get it then.
No. All right, go on.
Remembering back to the 23rd Psalm, the episode in Season 2, was it Echo saw Yemi in the smoke when he looked into it?
Yes.
And so it would link in well that then the smoke had, scanned his memories and become a manifestation of what he'd seen in Echo.
What?
Well, it's basically saying what I'm saying.
Right, yeah, go on.
And I also loved, we got a lot of the missing body parts back in this episode. We had Patchy, the bloke who's got no eye, possibly the owner of the glass eye that was in the arrow hatch.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
And Echo, in his flashback, cut off that bloke's arm.
Right.
And there was a bloke...
Where are you going with... Hang on a minute. Where are you going with the arm being cut off?
Well, there was, in past episodes, there's been a lot of things with missing limbs, like Marvin Candle with his missing arm, and Montant, who lost an arm.
Hang on, how is Marvin Candle... All right, leave this to me, fellas. I'll sort this out. How is Marvin Candle connected with the fella that had his arm chopped off? In fact, the fella didn't have his...
Lost bringing back another theme.
But the fella didn't have his arm. He had his hand chopped off, didn't he? Not his arm.
It's kind of like...
It's still missing limbs, isn't it?
Well, I don't see the connection there, Joe. Very tenuous.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. No. Try and get some better ones next time.
All right, anything else before we go?
Just the one big disappointment about the episode, not enough Desmond.
Yeah,
you got that one scene with him in?
Desmond's looking cool with the shirt and the beard and the hair. I wanted to be Desmond.
Saeed was very frosty with him, wasn't he?
Joe, listen, we're going to move on. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Good lad, bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, thanks very much for that, Joe. Can I just say, if you are calling into the Lost Line, have something useful to say. All he did was, nice lad, don't want to diss him, but...
Well, you are dissing him, though.
Yeah, okay, fine, I do want to diss him. He's a horrible lad. All he did was tell us what happened and then talk nonsense. He just wanted to talk to us again.
Well, he likes it.
If you'd like to come on the Lost Line, you can send an email to lost@sky1.co.uk. Now, that's also the address if you want to send some theories. And I've got an email here from Julian Miadov. It's the titled Cerebrus System / Monster. Personally, I think the catastrophic malfunction of the Cerebrus system mentioned on the blast door map is the monster. It appears around the same area, and I think the psychic cloud of black smoke takes on the form of people's fears. Jack's dad, Kate's horse, Dave, who can throw coconuts, amazing for someone previously without physical form, and it couldn't decide with Echo, thus leaving him alone. This fits in well with the other's goal of separating the good and the bad people on the island. The noises it makes suggest it is partially mechanic, and possibly caused by the hatch in the past screwing up the electromagnetism. Keep up the podcast, Lost Crew. Lots of love, Julia Meadolf. That sounds all right, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's got his head screwed on.
Tom's being very zen today. I like this. Just sitting here being...
He's hovering slightly above his chair.
What do you make of that, Paul?
I liked it, yeah. I think that theory obviously is aligning itself more with the, the mechanical... But maybe something that they think is in control of itself. It didn't suggest anyone controlling it, so...
Very quickly, I think Echo is coming back. May I tell you why?
Get out of here.
When I was over in Los Angeles, which is in America, which is another country, interviewing the cast of Lost, one of them was Adewale, who plays Mr. Echo. And they had just come back from filming an episode that was later than episode 5. I don't know which one, maybe 7. And I was speaking to Echo. He gave no hint he was leaving the series. In fact, he said, in Series 3, you will find out a lot more about Echo's spirituality, implying to me, knowing now that he's dead, that he comes back as a ghost. ghost or a spirit.
Interesting.
It's just a theory. There's nothing official on this. He said no more than that. This is just what I've surmised from that and other interviews I've read with him.
It's either that or you've just taken something that was probably given to you in confidence and
no, it wasn't.
told most of the public.
It was given in an open interview in front of video cameras.
Okay.
Also in this episode, we see a little bit of Desmond, not much of Desmond, who I'm beginning to fall in love with, I think. I think he's so handsome.
Come on, you got to love the Desmond.
He tells everyone that he thinks the hatches can be used for communication, and we see Locke deciding to take control, which Hurley begins to question.
We're heading out to the Pearl Station. There's a computer there that might help us find our people. Anybody want to come along?
What do you mean, anybody want to come along?
I mean, if you'd like to join us, it's a free island.
Yeah, see, Jack would go and do stuff alone. Or he'd take Saeed or Kate.
Yeah, well, I'm not Jack. More the merrier.
Paul, what do we make of Locke taking control? Pretty exciting, huh?
Well, he's basically his whole Zen nature's come back with full effect, and he quoted Echo. He said, "Don't mistake coincidence for fate," didn't he? So there's a nice Echo Locke connection within the episode as well, and he's just taking everything by the reins and running with it, and we're loving it.
I'm going to say 3 words. I want your reaction to these 3 words.
All right, okay.
Nikki and Paolo.
Oh yes, brilliant! Straight off the plane. Straight from America, suitcases out. Oh no, wow, this is a lovely island. Perfectly clean clothes, really quite beautiful people as well. Just happen to be on the island. The 2 most
beautiful people in the world.
And it's just like, I know, as Locke's being so generous with the little missions now. Oh yeah, I'll go along. Brilliant, perfect.
Paul, what do you make of them?
Don't trust them actually at all. I think they're far too sweetness and light at the moment, and Nikki seems to be. I mean, Nikki sussed out the computer thing, but I don't think they were that far away from working out themselves. There was actually multiple monitor screens in the Pearls.
I do feel uncomfortable with the introduction of Nikki and Paolo. I don't think they need to introduce any more characters on the island. Apart from others, they don't need to introduce any more losties. It just seems a little bit... Although Nikki is far less irritating than Paolo. I don't know why that is, whether it's because she's a fit girl, whether because she hasn't got an irritating Brazilian accent. That's not racist, you can say that. I don't know what it is.
It's a mystery.
Okay, so they go into... It's the Swan Hatch, isn't it?
The Pearl Hatch.
The Pearl Hatch. I always get the names of the hatches wrong. After Nikki's suggestion, they managed to get a monitor working. What do we see, Paul?
It's amazing. They will go, wow, computers, first of all, because quite obviously there would be computers in another hatch, but they pan across and you see a dude with an eye patch, and you see a little tiny glimpse of a logo, a Dharma logo.
It's a Dharma logo.
It's definitely a corner of a Dharma logo.
Okay.
And as Joe said on the line, maybe this is the guy who has the glass eye, which was found in the Arrow way back, so that there may be some beautiful link between all the seasons together.
Where do we think he is, Tom?
I think he's in an identical hatch, similar to the Swan pushing a button, to be honest. That's what it looks
What do
like.
we see? We see a computer console, like the one that's in our hatch. We see those crazy computers that are always in 60s TV programmes with flashing lights and probably whirling tape, and that's it, isn't it?
But the camera seems to move. I swear the camera moves from left to right.
It's on a
They're
pivot,
watching.
yeah,
it sort of pivots across, but then he seems to see them, or at least see the camera move, and turns it off. So they're in trouble.
I would guess that it's the first time that the camera has moved in a long time, and that's why he's spotted it. And,
maybe he was dusting. He was having a bit of a tidy up, a bit of spring clean.
You were saying, Tom, when we watched it, that you recognised him. Did you recognise him from the show or from something else?
Oh, just from he's another actor.
He's an actor?
Wow. Thanks for that. No, I've definitely seen him in something else. I'll try to remember for next week.
Now, until 71 days ago, Desmond was alone in a hatch, so it's possible that there are others alone in hatches. How many hatches are there left to find, Paul?
Maybe another 3 or 4, possibly.
Okay. Well, everyone's favourite, Geeky Tom, who likes to dress up as pirates in his spare time, has been keeping a close eye on the Lost Forum, which you can find at sky1.co.uk. And Tom, you're going to give us an update about what's been going on there.
Well, I asked a question this week. Well, I kind of maybe thought we could do this every week.
Well, you didn't run this past me, but let's see how it goes. I'll give you the
basically, I kind of asked people if you can insert any famous actor into a role in Lost, who would it be, and which actor would you replace them with?
Okay,
and why?
Okay, doesn't help the theories of Lost, but carry on. What were the responses? What would your choice be, first of all?
Yeah, I like Steven Seagal, as you may have noticed. Love it. And I think it'd be quite funny to replace him with Locke.
I think it'd be good to have Steven Seagal on the island, but as Steven Seagal, the actor. He's there as himself. They go, wow, Steven Seagal's turned up on the island.
That'd be brilliant.
Okay, what did the people on the forum have to say?
Well, we had William Shatner as a lost member of Russo's crew, which would be quite...
That's good. Yeah, he'd do confused well, wouldn't he?
Yeah, possibly the captain of her ship.
What else?
Bernard Manning was another one. Yep, Bernard Manning to replace Sawyer.
Oh, really? I was going to say Hurley.
to replace Sawyer.
Paul, have you any online stuff that you found?
Quite an amusing one. I think it was unintentionally amusing. There was a post by Stephen King, the Stephen King.
Oh, right.
Horror writer extraordinaire.
Misery, Carrie, etc.
All of that stuff. He posted a thing saying if he was in control of Lost, here's how he'd end it.
Where was it? Where did he post this?
Oh, it's some website.
Okay, excellent. Good.
But it was definitely Stephen King. You can Google it, you'll find him. And he's there with a little picture looking very, astute.
How do you know it's definitely him?
Apparently there's comments after it from everybody involved in Lost.
All right.
Not the show, but fans and things. But no, it's definitely Stephen King, and he basically says, if I was in control of the show, here's how I'd end it. And obviously that's quite intriguing. So basically, his idea was, he says, Jack and his eye is the first shot of the entire show.
Yeah.
So, maybe it's all in Jack's head.
There we go. Rubbish.
Genius.
Absolute.
Obviously, huge amount of sarcasm there. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
If anyone has ever seen the film Give My Regards to Broad Street starring Paul McCartney, that's how that ends. And it's awful.
I know, never seen that.
Listen, if you want to go to the Sky website, which has got lots of excellent stuff, go to sky1.co.uk/Lost. You can find exclusive cast interviews, news, character descriptions, updates, screensavers, and this is the groovy bit, and I can't get enough of this, you can see the video of when I met the cast. I have playing constantly on a loop on my PC.
Sounds rubbish.
It is
sounds like a waste of time.
Brilliant.
I've not watched it. No.
This is brilliant. Okay, we've got another caller on the Lost line. It's John. Hello, John.
Yeah, mate, how are you doing?
I'm all right. John, what have you got for us today?
Well, basically, I was hoping to speak about the Swan Station. It's been really annoying me. Everyone is going on about the implosion and everything, but no one's actually mentioning the numbers ever again.
Yes.
Essentially, my big beef with it is that the Valenzetti equation is used to type in these numbers. Supposedly they're meant to be changing...
Hang on, stop there for 1 second, John. Very quickly, in a sentence, Paul, explain the Valenzetti equation to people who may be unaware of it. Hang on a second, I'm going to get Paul to do it because he's an expert.
It involves those cursed numbers and is apparently the equation for the end of the world.
But it hasn't been mentioned in the series.
No, it has not been mentioned in the series so far.
Okay, John, carry on.
Yeah, it was mentioned in the Lost experience.
Yeah, on the online stuff that was happening throughout the summer, yes.
But anyway, so the relevance of it is that the Dharma Initiative is supposed to be changing one of the core values of this equation.
Right.
However, if this number has to be entered perpetually into the Lost computer, what happens if they do change one of the values?
What if they do? What if they punch in a different number?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but obviously we're not going to be able to find out.
But the number, obviously, they're not entering numbers into that computer. But it could be possible that they're entering numbers elsewhere. That's happening because I think we're going to hear more of the numbers. We haven't heard anything, have we, Paul?
No, I mean the numbers are going to. They're definitely a massive part of the mythology. And you're right, John. Maybe there's other hatches around with people trying different equations related to different aspects of the equation. You never know.
Yeah.
But you want to see. But you want to see more numbers.
Well, I want to see more numbers. Yeah, I want some more answers. I want to know about Kevin Inman and Badinsky a bit more as well, because again, only briefly saw the end of sort of season 2, but nothing in this season so far.
Do you think he's dead?
I don't reckon he is. I think
can you just remind people who we're talking about here.
Mr. Inman, who seemed to have his skull pummeled against a rock by Desmond.
This is the fellow that was down the hatch with Desmond for 3 years or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think he's dead or alive, John?
I think he may be alive.
Yeah.
But also, I think Radinsky may even still be alive as well.
I think Radinsky's around. Yeah.
John, is that it?
Pretty much. I can't wait till February now.
Well, this is it.
I'm not happy with the season break.
We've got one more episode here on Sky that needs to go, episode 6, and then we're having there's a short break, and this is because in the States they're taking like 3 months off for some ridiculous reason.
And it's Christmas?
Some other paths on
you can't take... No other series takes 3 months. Imagine if 24, had a break for 3 months. It's insane. I'm genuinely furious about this, and I'm going to write a strong email and send it to my mum. John, thank you very much for that.
No problem.
Good lad, bye-bye.
Bye.
If you want to...
Bye.
Bye-bye. He was very polite, wasn't he? Yeah. And we're getting accents on the Lost line, which is good. Ticks boxes. If you want to be on the Lost line, send an email to lost@sky1.co.uk, obviously with your phone number and, some bits and pieces about you. A lot of Ben, Juliet and Jack action. We see Colin's funeral, which is white tunics, kind of follows the Hindu funeral tradition. So there's a hint of a more spiritual side to Dharma.
Whose funeral?
Colleen's.
Oh, I thought it said Colin.
Colin's funeral, yeah.
And the body on the boat thing is kind of a Viking burial custom. Does this tell us anything?
It didn't look Viking, it looked Hawaiian.
What is that? I think they bury people in Hawaii. I think they've progressed to the stage of burial now.
Well, their island's quite small, so I'm just judging by the amount of land mass it could get a bit.
But it does hint kind of...
well, they seem to respect and have a lot of time for themselves, anyway, the others, rather than everybody else.
Where does the Dom initiative come from? Aren't they Dutch? Like, De Groot and Hanzo is quite a Dutch name, isn't it?
It's a bit of a mix, though, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
So,
a bit of a hodgepodge.
Yeah.
Now, Jack, he doesn't guess that Ben has a tumour, does he?
I think he's probing. He's in probing mode. He's
assumed. That's what we say. He's assumed.
And what do they say? Never assume.
Jack says, well, it's a bit of a bizarre coincidence. Spinal surgeon crashing on an island. Someone's got a spinal tumour.
Yeah, and Ben tries to sort of do the whole faith thing, doesn't he? And say, ooh, but do you believe in God, Jack?
Well, let's hear Ben doing that.
Do you believe in God, Jack?
Do you?
2 days after I found out I had a fatal tumor on my spine, a spinal surgeon fell out of the sky. And if that's not proof of God, I don't know what is.
Well, he says, if that's not proof of God, I don't know what is. But in the Dave episode, Ben tells Locke that God can't see the island.
Yeah, he seems to be really trying to mess with, I think, Jack's kind of man of science thing, just sort of... I think he's almost trying to make Jack think that he's so special, like that's why he's on the island, that's his entire purpose, is to save Ben's life. But, come on, this is the guy who they had holed up in the Swan and were torturing him.
I think he's a stinking liar.
Yeah.
Like... Juliet says on that little piece of card.
Well, I don't trust Juliet either.
We'll go back to Ben in a second then. Juliet's cards. I don't trust a single thing that woman says. And when she's saying, basically you've got to kill Ben, I'm very suspicious about this whole thing.
I think she wants to kill Ben. I don't think there's any lies going on there.
But her reason, she says in the cards, some of us want to change. Okay, who are the people that want change and why would they want change?
Well, you go back to episode 1 when they're in the book club. And she's just like, well, sometimes free will does still exist on this island, or assuming free will still exists. So maybe Ben's being a bit of an idiot.
I reckon it's power struggle between Juliet and Ben.
I think she's the boss.
Yeah, I think she's or trying to regain her control of that whole faction. Yeah.
I think that if Ben does get killed by Jack or otherwise, she's going to turn out to be a really nasty piece of work and start kicking some serious ass.
Well, maybe that's why Ben wanted to get back from when he was being captured by them, to save his people from the reign of Juliet. Maybe she's really super evil.
Why hasn't the island healed Ben's tumour?
Good point.
Because it's done everything else.
Oh, but they're not on the island, are they? They're on the Alcatraz-y one.
Yeah, but they live on the main one, as you so rightly pointed out last week.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely didn't hear that off anybody else.
Now, if Ben knows how to get off the island, why doesn't he just get off the island and go and see a doctor?
Very good point. And he said that they can get off the island. But after the anomaly got blown, they were saying that there's lots of things that are down.
They must have not. I'm guessing they knew that Jack is a spinal surgeon from day one, haven't they? Or from at least very early on.
Yeah, pretty much since they got... Well, maybe before they even crashed.
Why has it taken 71 days to ask him? Why didn't they just go up and say, hello, you've crashed on our island, we're the others, one of us has got a tumour, you couldn't operate?
Well, maybe then you just found out. Maybe it's a recent event of tumour discovery.
Well, they had to go and make all the lists and things, find out who everybody was, get the list back,
Okay, well, the creators have admitted, and we all know this, that Jack was due to be killed off in the pilot episode.
Yeah.
Now he's an integral part of the story. Are they making it up as they go along?
Well, judging by that,
it seems to be, doesn't it? Okay, we've got another caller on the lost line. It's Barry. Hello, Barry.
Hi, Ian.
Barry, what have you got for us, sir?
Just something I noticed. Jack was telling Ben about his tumour, and he said that one of the symptoms would be feeling tingling in his fingers as a result of it. But if you had the particular tumour that Ben's actually got, you'd feel it in your lower extremities, not your upper extremities.
Hang on a minute, Barry. Are you a spinal surgeon?
No, I've just had a look at it on the internet.
Always self-diagnosis. It's a perfectly acceptable form of medicine.
It's in the papers at the moment, isn't it? If in doubt, Google's GP can Google.
So that doesn't tie in with what he's actually got.
No, not really. Not with the symptoms.
What do you make of Juliet's video? Because we're kind of mistrustful of her here.
Well, the thing that I noticed, I don't know whether you have picked this up, but she's actually wearing the same clothes she had when they first seen the plane crash above them. And
that's
she's
good.
also in the same house.
That's really good.
As you had the book club.
I reckon.
So all I was thinking is this again with this whole time travel possible theory. Is she doing some sort of thing?
Sorry, there you were doing brilliantly, and then you mentioned time travel. What the hell are you talking about?
I think Desmond's probably a time traveller now.
I said that a few
This is
few weeks
nonsense.
ago.
So you're subscribing to the Geeky Tom theory of potential time travel?
I'm completely with Geeky Tom about time travel.
Can I say something to both of you? You're both idiots. There is no time travel involved in this story at all. It's nonsense. Barry, you're saying that Juliet has gone back in time.
No, not necessarily. It's just she had the same clothes on and was in the same house.
There we go. Stop it there. Why introduce time travel, you fool?
Well, just going along with that little notion of Tom's.
Right. But listen, you and Tom can chat after this if you want. Barry, thanks very much for that.
All right, no problem.
Bye-bye. Was that like your dad or something?
Your mate.
A funny voice.
Oh, no, he's got a valid point there. Don't give him a hard time.
He deserved a hard time. By the way, if you do come on and you're talking nonsense, I'm gonna give you a hard time. I think it's only fair. So expect a Barney. But if you would like to come on the Lost line, just send an email to lost@sky1.co.uk with your name and number and all of that stuff.
Who's going to want to go on now after you just said that? No one.
People who are ready for spoiling for a fight.
Ready for a fight.
Come on. If you want to phone up and just have a go, let's do it. Okay, let's have a quick recap. In one sentence, Paul, what have you learned from episode 5?
That they're all next, or Locke is next, as to be killed by the monster.
Tom, one sentence, what have you learned from episode 5?
I missed it. Echo isn't alive anymore.
Are you sad? A bit. Okay, listen, thanks Geeky Tom and Paul. Episode 6 of Lost is Sunday, 10pm on Sky 1, repeated the following Wednesday at 10pm, and then again on Sky 2 on Friday at 9pm. You can become our friends at not literal friends, we're not hanging out, at myspace.com/Lost on Sky 1. I'm Iain Lee. Please join us again next week on the Lost Initiative, the official download show for Lost in the UK, where we'll be looking at episode 6, I Do, right after it's been on the telly. Namaste.
The Lost Initiative is a co-ink production for Sky One.